Well, 2022 is coming to an end. It's officially December. By the time this video gets posted, it'll be December. So I thought it'd be a good way to wrap up the year and roll into next year with some of my favorite gear from 2022. One of the first things I did for 2022, I needed new shoes. So I'm a big fan of Altras. I have worn Altra trail runners for probably the last 3 years backpacking. I actually started with the Temp 1.5s, and then they screwed all those up, changing the toe boxes and stuff. So I went to the Lone Peaks like everybody else. These are the 4.5s, and I love these. Used these for a year and a half, and there's some pretty good wear on them. You can't really see it, but there's not a whole lot of tread on them. They're starting to get pretty slippery. But just super comfortable shoes. And I tried the 6s at the start of the year, and they were okay. But I thought, a couple trips I went on, the balls of my feet kind of hurt with these, and it's probably just because they're wearing out. But I thought I would try some with more cushion. That was the thing I liked about the Temps, is they had more of a thicker stack height. But I don't remember what model Temps they're on now, 3s, 4s, I don't know. I didn't like them, they're too narrow. I tried the Altra Olympus. These are the 4s for this year, and these are fantastic for me. So you can kind of see, maybe, if I put them side by side, you can see the thickness of the sole on the Olympus versus the Lone Peaks. These are a lot thicker stack height, and there's a lot of people saying they thought they were too tall, like it made them feel like they were walking on stilts. I gave them a shot. I wore them around REI with a loaded pack for a good 10 minutes, just walking around in there. And they didn't bother me, but with REI, you can buy this stuff, try it out, and if you hate it, you can return it. So I went ahead and bought them, and I took them on a couple little overnights, and then I took them on my Wind River Range trip that's posted on here. I love these shoes. I might have talked about it in the video. I might not have. There was a section where we were coming down one of the mountains, and I was actually jogging down the mountain, and just the balance of these shoes and the comfort, like I didn't feel anything from rocks or roots. I never felt like I was on stilts, like some people say. These were amazing. So I really love the Olympus. These are the 4s. I know they're the 5s now. So we'll see. But everything about these has been super comfortable. The one thing people did say about these is they thought they wore out quicker. I think it's ironic that the Olympus are the only ones that have the Vibram sole, like Merrell boots and things. So they're stickier. And even though the Lone Peaks are supposedly their main hiker shoes, I love these. I can't say enough good things about them, and they've got probably 200 miles of wear on them so far, and they're perfect. So these will probably make it through most of 2023 for me. I got some trips already lined up, and I'm gonna try to drag these out the whole year. At the very least, keep an eye out for when they start to do clearance sales on the Olympus 4s. If anybody knows what they do, if they have those going, put some comments in here, because I'll probably buy another pair. So I've got them. But Altra Olympus 4s, I love these. Next up, so new for me for 2022 was the Gossamer Gear G420 backpack. Again, I've had a bunch of different backpacks, and I've still got 3 or 4 different ones for different situations. I've got a big 65-liter Osprey pack for heavy loads. I've got the REI Flash 55 that was in one of the other videos that is still, I think, one of the best all-around backpacks that you can buy. However, if you want to go ultra light and don't want to spend a ton of money on these Cuban fiber or ultra fabric backpacks, I think a lot of people sleep on Gossamer gear. This G420 pack is fantastic. It's regularly under 200 bucks. I'm sure it's on sale right now for the holidays, Black Friday sales maybe still carrying over. It's a 42 liter pack, It is a frameless pack. There's no frame. What they do for the frame is you get the sit pad that comes with it, and it's in these two stretchy mesh sleeves, so you can take it out and use it as a sit pad. So it serves two purposes, which when you're trying to go ultralight, that's a big deal because you don't want to be carrying a bunch of extra stuff. So if I can get away with a sit pad, there's also the frame of the pack. That's weight saved. I'll put the exact weight of it on the screen down here, but it's super lightweight and it is super comfortable. Like, it's got pretty thick shoulder straps. It's got a pretty decent hip belt, which a lot of frameless packs, they ditch the hip belt. I've tried that. I don't, even with the 10 pounds base weight, I don't like not having a hip belt. The pack moves a lot and it's just not stable. So this provides the stability, keeps it close to your back, but still does do a little bit to take some load off of your shoulders. So I think they say nothing really over 25 pounds in a frameless pack is probably pretty realistic. I did on a trip to Red River Gorge have this thing loaded down with 6 liters of water going uphill. So I know I was blowing that 25-pound weight limit, and it really wasn't bad. Like, I was actually kind of impressed by that. It actually carried very well for that. But it's got, I'm not trying to do a whole big full review of it, but it's got the one side pocket here that's taller, you can kind of see, and then the one that's shorter. So water bottles here, and then it's angled well enough. You can fit 2 smart water bottles next to each other, and it's angled low enough that you can still get to it while you're wearing it. And then the taller one is more like a shelter pocket. Certain tents will fit in here very well. The Gossamer Gear, the one will fit in here. Right now I just have my chair in here, which we'll get to. But it gives you lots of carrying options. Big hip belt pockets, which for some reason people get rid of on ultralight packs. I think it's silly. Shot cord for the compression straps to hold everything together. A big stretchy mesh pocket on the front. This thing I've had just completely full. And the thing I like about it too, they put a heavier duty nylon on the bottom. So when you set this down, which you can't see, and I'm not gonna get up and try to move this thing around. So sorry, use your imagination. But when you set it down, you're not setting that mesh on the ground, so it keeps it from getting torn up. And then it's just like a standard kind of ultralight backpack, one big roll top and a whole lot of space in there. It does have this little pocket on the front that has a little zipper. It's like a map pocket. You could shove little maps. I put my keys in here. If I'm taking cigars, I can put cigars in there. So once you start to fill the back up, that pocket really shrinks. But for like keys and stuff that you don't really ever want to accidentally drop, it's a good place to put them because then you're never really getting around in there. So yes, Gossamer Gear G420 pack. Fantastic pack. If you're looking for a frameless pack, this should be on your list. I don't know why Gossamer Gear stuff isn't talked about more, but definitely should be on the list. Okay, so this item, this is gonna fall under that. This is not new for 2022. It's just, I can't do a gear video and talk about some of my favorite gear from here and not talk about this chair. It was in my other video, REI FlexLight Air Chair. There's not much else to say about it. It's a 1-pound chair. It's comfortable. I'm 225 pounds and this chair is perfectly fine. I have no issues. There is one little hole in it that was from an ember hitting it, burning a hole in it, and that's been over 2 years ago, and that hole has never gotten any bigger. So the ripstop nylon works. I know there's new chairs out now since these have been out. Other brands are getting in that kind of 1-pound chair game. I haven't really seen anything that's made me want to even consider getting rid of this. So until this thing falls apart, I have no reason to replace it. And this comes on pretty much every trip with me, unless I'm just for some reason really trying to go as lightweight as possible. Then I ditch this. Sometimes solo trips I don't bring it because I'm not, I don't know, I'm not just sitting around. Usually if I'm by myself, I'm in the tent sitting around, so I don't really end up using it. But for the most part, this comes on every trip with me. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3. All right, so next up, we're gonna talk about this is the clothing. So, I don't know why this is in here. We'll edit that out. So the clothing that I used for 2022, these were new this year, was going with the sun hoodies versus just like a t-shirt or the button-up like Columbia shirts. I really like the sun hoodie. I used this exact one on every trip I went on this year. This is actually one I bought off of Amazon. The brand is Willet. It's still on there. I think they're only like 20 bucks, which compared to some of these like the Mountain Hardwear or Outdoor Research brand ones that are $50, $60, $70. I have an Outdoor Research one. It is slightly thinner than this, but I wore this and even the hottest trips I took this year was in the 90s, and I wouldn't have been any cooler. But having the ability to roll the sleeves down to protect against bugs, sun, that Wind River trip we got baked. So having the hood, having the longer sleeves was huge for keeping the sunburn at bay. And really, it doesn't stink, which is kind of impressive. Eventually it will. All these polyester materials will hold smells, but at 20 bucks, I can just toss it and get a new one. So no big deal there. Sun hoodie, fantastic. The other thing, this is kind of a bonus item because I'm sure a lot of you watching this video, either your wives go here all the time or you go here. Target. I get drugged to Target all the time. Not really my favorite place. They do have nice shopping carts. However, if you need backpacking clothes, specifically like pants and shorts, they have the Wrangler brand stuff, and it's their all-terrain gear. These are the greatest backpacking shorts ever. It's the Wrangler all-terrain gear X shorts. Super fantastic. They're very lightweight. Kind of feel like board shorts, I guess. These particular ones are just like elastic drawstrings. There's not like buttons or anything. It's got a zip up fly, but they're very lightweight. You got some pockets. Has a zippered pocket here, and then pockets on the back. I always wore just like basketball shorts. I got these, figured I'd try them out. They dry insanely quicker than like my basketball shorts. They're kind of like running shorts, but they're super cheap too. So I wanted something with pockets. That's what I missed when I wore basketball shorts. This has more pockets in them, and everybody ends up having to go to Target, so they're great for that. While we're on that subject, they also make them in pants. So you can get just pants like that. They're like regular hiking material, which I have a pair of that I haven't used yet on the trail, but versus like the expensive Columbia Silver Ridge zip-off ones. They're not zip-offs, but again, they were $29. And then these are the same thing. These are the Wrangler ones, but these ones are actually fleece lined. So they're insulated ones, which is great because it's cold right now. I have the garage door open a little bit, so I get better light. But it's cold. So for like serious wintertime trips, these have some fleece lining in them. These are super cozy, and they're like $35. So if you need backpacking pants, shorts, whatever, don't sleep on Target selection of stuff. All right, what's next on the list of stuff for 2022? Gossamer Gear, the one tent. So awesome tent. Picked this up this year. Used it on quite a few trips. I really like it. Size-wise, it's got plenty of space for me. I'm not small. I'm over 6 feet tall. So sometimes it's hard to find ultralight gear that works, tent-wise anyway, that works for that. This tent works for me, and I have plenty of space to be able to sit up and move around. I'll try to put a video in here that shows some of that. But you get a really good sized vestibule out of it. It only weighs 17.8-ish ounces. So super lightweight. No, it's not Cuban fiber. It's cell nylon, so it does have a tendency to stretch which I guess would be the only downside to this tent. And when you set it up, you got to be careful in the wind to make sure you get it set up the right way, as it's got big panels of fabric and it can catch the wind. I've never had any issues with it, but it'll flap around and this fabric can stretch, so you got to set it up and then sometimes tighten the guy lines back down. But as far as space for a one-man, 1 pound tent, basically, I've tried a lot of them. I've tried some other Cuban fiber ones. I've tried quite a few different tents. And just because of the design of this one with the 2 poles and the way it comes up and arcs out, you get a lot of shoulder room, so I can sit up without having to worry about brushing my head. I can move around in there and get dressed and stuff pretty easily. You have a big open vestibule to cook in. So it's for ultralight. When I want to pack lightweight and small, this tent is small enough. It'll fit right down in this shelter pocket on the side of the G420 pack. It's great for that. So like I said, I do have a video coming comparing this to another tent that is very popular among ultralight hikers, backpackers, very popular on YouTube, hard to get your hands on. I finally got one, so we'll see how it compares. But if you want an ultralight tent and you don't want to spend $500, I think these are 300 bucks. Single wall trekking pole tent. It's a pretty tried and true tent design. It's been around for a long time. Lots of thru hikers use them. It's thin material. You got to be smart with it. I put a ground sheet down so I don't tear a hole in the fabric, but I've never had any issues with it. So if you're looking for a tent on a budget, Gossamer Gear, the one tent, solid. I like it. What else is in here? Okay. So this is going to go in the category of not brand new. Well, something in here is brand new for 2022, but overall, the whole cook set, I've had this for years, and it's just basically every trip this goes on. Every trip I take, this pretty much goes with me. It's just a Toke 750 milliliter pot, super lightweight. But then inside of it, I do have a little cup in here. But the main item I'm concerned with is the stove. So this is the Optimus Crux Light Stove. This was new for this year. I was using the little BRS titanium stove. It just started to wear out, and it was pretty much either it was off or full on. And there's no real wind protection with it, so it just wasn't very fuel efficient. The Crux Light Stove, you can see, it's not very big, obviously. I think it only weighs like 3 ounces or something. But it's got pretty good little pot supports that fold out. I'll try to get that on. Yeah, that works. That fold out there, and this thing has been pretty solid. It's much better in the wind just because of the design of it. It boils water super quick, and it's pretty fuel efficient too. So, and it's really quiet. That's kind of a plus. I wasn't really looking for that, but compared to like some of the MSR pocket rockets that sound like jet engines, or that BRS stove that sounds like a jet engine, this thing's pretty quiet. And I want to say it's only 30, I think when I bought it, it was like 35, maybe $40. I don't think it was much more than $40. The MSR pocket rockets are like 60, 65. So for the money, this thing's great. I love this little stove. I used it a lot, never had an issue with it. Definitely a solid pickup for 2022. And what else we got? Okay, now I think I only have 2 things left in here. Nope. All right, sleeping pad. This is another one. This was not new. I've had this sleeping pad for 2 years now, but it is worth putting in here. The Nemo Tensor Insulated Sleeping Pad. This is, without a doubt, I'll fight anybody who argues, this is the best sleeping pad on the market, hands down. It's by far the most comfortable. It's 3 inches when it's inflated. This is the long wide, and you can see, how small it still packs down to. this thing is amazing. I think it weighs, I'm not sure the exact weight, I'll look it up and put it on here, but it's not very heavy. This is the most comfortable sleeping pad that I've ever used. I have the Thermarest Uber Light for when I want to go ultra light, just still pretty comfortable. I have the Thermarest Neo Air X Therm for when I need the warmth. This pad is insulated. I think the newer ones are like at least a 4.5 R value. I think this one was 4.2 because it's a couple years old. So the newer ones are a little warmer. For most use, 3-season use, these are great. If you're trying to decide on one pad, the Tensor insulated pad is solid. And if you're trying to go below, freezing, I've used it below freezing and it was fine. But add I'm pointing up here because all my gear's up here. Add like a foam pad, like a Thermarest Z-Lite pad or something underneath it. That'll take you out into winter for sure if you want to get into that without trying to buy a second pad. But easily the most comfortable sleeping pad I've ever used. I love this thing. I slept on this thing in my house for a while when I was waiting on a new mattress, and that took some time, longer than expected. I love this thing. It's great. It's durable. I'm careful with my gear, especially like sleeping pads. But I've let my kids use this when we go car camping and stuff, and has no leaks, no holes. I absolutely love this pad. So if you're on the fence for a new sleeping pad, the Tensor insulated pad it's fantastic. I couldn't do the video and not put it in there. It's a great sleeping pad. And the last item that hits the 2022 favorite gear list, puffy jacket. Now this is the Decathalon Trek 100 down jacket. I've had an Arc'teryx down jacket, the Cerium LT, for 3 years, and it's a great down jacket. It's warm, it's lightweight. Arc'teryx stuff is built very, very well, but Arc'teryx gear is cut very athletic. I'm not the most athletic shaped person, so it just never really fit very well. But I never really wanted to spend money on another new down jacket. I just kind of dealt with it. Well, I've seen a few videos on YouTube about this jacket. I saw it on sale for Black Friday for like $65, and I went ahead and got one. So far, I love this. Now, I haven't tested it on a backpacking trip, but I've worn it out here today with just the Melanzana fleece and this. It's 30 degrees maybe and windy, and so far from what I can tell, this is just as warm as the Arc'teryx down jacket. Fit wise, I got a double X, so most jackets with the backpacking stuff, a lot of them you either get stuff that are boxier or they're more athletic cut. So typically in the boxier things, my size is an extra large. Like this is the Melanzana microgrid hoodie. This is an extra large, and it fits just fine. It's got plenty of room in it. Fits me perfectly fine. The more athletic cut stuff, I need to size up. So this is the double X size, and as far as fitment on this, hard to see in this video, but as far as the fitment in this, it fits perfect. You can kind of see where my waistline is. It doesn't come up too high, fits pretty well. Sleeves are good, so I like it, and you can see how it fits through the chest. Like I've got plenty of room to move around, so definitely size up. It's got the hood that you can pull up. So you see the hood fits pretty well. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. So again, just another piece of gear. I haven't really tested it yet, but I can tell you it's warm, that's for sure. So if you need a new down jacket, the Decathalon Trek 100, they're still on sale. I think even retail price though, they're only like $80. And I honestly got that off of, I got it off of Walmart's website, of all places. So, I mean, you can find Decathalon gear a lot of places, but I got that one from Walmart. And so far, I'm happy with it. So, that's about it. Now it's a mess around here, but those are my top things from 2022. Gear that I use on every trip, basically. Stuff I bought this year that I absolutely love. That I thought, you know, it's getting to Christmas time. Let's put some stuff together and give you guys some ideas of things. And if you're looking for some new gear, these are things that I've bought that I've loved. So hopefully you got something out of this video. Sorry it's once again in the garage. The next video will be outside. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.